Okay, and what we end up with is, yeah, had a minor accident as I was transferring him from paint booth to the paint station here, dropped with my fumble fingers, and yeah, ripped off an arm. So we're going to do a little bit of repair work here, and hopefully we can get him back into action. So yeah, now we're going to go ahead and we'll let this dry again for the sake of gluing. And then what we'll do is we'll start doing some brush painting and see if we can get this guy in a decent condition as far as being a blood angel, which it'll give me some time to look up some pictures to see what colors I'm supposed to use. So that's a good thing. With that said, through the magic of editing, so his arm is now back in place thanks to Gorilla Glue. So always keep some of that on hand. But that's some of the things that you have to worry about with water washable resin, is that it's a little bit more brittle. And of course, if you drop it from great heights, that doesn't help either. But yeah, it looks pretty good. So we notice we definitely have some color shades, and even with the colors that we used, we still, I mean, it's a very slight variation, but we still see some highlights, and we could probably even highlight it a little bit more. But we're not going to go overboard with that. So what we're going to end up doing is we're definitely not going to use this. So we've got the little tacky stuff there, the blue tack, to keep him on. And I think what we're going to end up doing is doing our black. So with black, what we'll do is his Aquila, and the edging on his shoulder pads there, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We're waiting for our reference pictures to get printed out on our extremely slow printer. I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to do some decals. Now the good thing about decals is I have some Green Stuff World, the decal fixer and the softener. Of course, they're labeled 1 and 2, so you prep it with this and you finish it with this. And this came from some Space Marine interceptors, I think, or was it, I don't know, some Space Marine Warhammer thing. And so what I think we'll end up doing is taking some of these black ones and put them on here in some way, shape, or form. So, let's see, we'll definitely use a skull. And I'm thinking about putting the skull on his little plate there. Now for my reference, we're using our Sony FDR AX53, which is a 4K camera, and it is in the autofocus mode. So we'll see how this works out. We'll do a little bit with the autofocus, and then we'll actually try doing the manual focus so it's focused on here, and then try to keep it so it stays focused. Okay, since that is the case, I'll just get a little bit of this decal fixer. I'll just do a tiny drop. A little bit of that here. I'll just kind of put that on there. Supposedly that'll prep the area that you're going to put your, see, it comes off a little bit. So we do that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take our decal and we'll soak this in water. And I don't have a pin. Usually I have like a paper clip or something that I could slide this off onto the area. I don't have one handy, so I'm just gonna have to see if we can just do this. I think it's not bad. I like that. So we will roll with that right there. Getting this decal softener, I don't know how much of it we'll actually use. We'll just put a little dot on there. Not that we really need that much. We'll just roll it on there just in case. And there is our decal, which I think that turned out pretty good. Now this one is going to be more of a curved surface, so we'll definitely need some of a softener. Let's see if this moves off. Yes, it moves. No. Okay. This is gonna be rough. So we got a little bit of a rip in there. But I think we can end up doing, I think we're just gonna have to let that go, and then what we'll do is just try to distress it and see how that works. A little crooked. Now on that side, what are we gonna put there? Can we save this? I think we might, maybe. Okay, I think we're good with that. So let's do that. So we get our decal set. Do that. And I'm not a big Warhammer person. I just like doing the models and the painting. So if I'm putting these in the absolutely wrong places, please forgive. So I'm going to call that good. So we have a little skull there. We got a little bit white there. Of course, it's a little damaged, so we'll have to rough that up. Got the little hawk head on there, which is, it's a little rough. But printed out, that's kind of messed up anyway. So it's not really the best that I've done as far as printing. This is when I was brand new to printing, so I didn't really know how to do supports that well or anything like that. So I think what we can end up doing now, we can either jump into the gold and do his Aquila, or we could do the black edging on his shoulder pads and some of the other areas. So I'm thinking let's do the black, and we'll save the gold for later. And we'll use the Abaddon black. And putting these in dropper buds is an excellent idea. Those little paint pot things are just horrible, in my opinion. Okay, so now let's just do the edging and see what we can end up doing here. Too bad. Not too bad. Let's see what we can do on this. don't know. Maybe the black Aquila would look good, and then with some little dusted highlights maybe. Shall we? I think we shall. And then with the cross on there, or the skull. So, if you can end up seeing that, I think that turned out well. A little bit of black in the palm of his hand. And speaking of black, I think what we can end up doing is hitting this gun. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. Of course, the gun will be a combination of the black, and then we'll have some other colors on there as well. I'm just not real impressed with this Citadel black. It just doesn't cover well. But then I did add some paint thinner when I transferred them out of the paint pots into the dropper bottles. So it does go on better, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do a couple of coats, and that's okay too. So we've got some that have the gold Aquila, we have some that have the black. I think the black looks good. And then we got that, green eyes, of course. So yeah, not too bad. We'll definitely get some colors in there with the purity seals and the skulls. That'll be a good contrast, especially with the purity seals. That'll look pretty good, I think. And then the pouches, all of that stuff. And then we'll throw in some other colors, of course, with the weapon and everything. And then the ground, we'll have to redo that. And I think we're going to do a black cape. Yeah, so let's do the cape and see how that goes. Real interesting to highlight. I've never done a black cape before. So we'll definitely keep the black in the black, and then we'll have to, I don't know, maybe dry brush, or definitely put in some highlights so you can see something just besides black. And with that being said, I think we can do some black on here too. But I think we're going to need a smaller brush. So he's got, on the picture, it's got silver. On this one, it's got kind of a black, and some other ones I've seen, I kind of like the silver. But on this one, he did some black, and then he did, I don't know, he did some silver on there. Go ahead and do the little tiny details. Oops, that's not what I want. That one. The tiny, tiny one. good. So I think what we'll end up doing is we'll let this dry, and then we'll attack and figure out what other colors we're going to do next. That'll look really good. So the black and then the skull color in the center. See that? I think that turned out good. I think with that we'll let them dry. Alrighty, there we have it. Okay, we've got some pictures, close-up pics of our Blood Angel and the black and decal work that we have, and I think it turned out really well. I've definitely seen a lot of improvement in my skills in the last 5 months, and prior to that, it was 46 years since I painted anything, so I'm really happy with the results that we see. Definitely give a thumbs up and a like to this, and continue watching the Blood Angel coming to fruition. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with what's going on with us, The Buried Life, as we're retired in Korea. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.